Good day, everybody. Chris Herline here of REAP Financial coming to you with today's Wealth Report. It is Friday, August 30th, 2024. Great to have you with me. Today, I want to talk about a certain account that we've talked about over the years, but because we're walking into September here, those of you that have worked with REAP Financial for years, you know that this is the time that we begin doing our Roth conversion estimations for you and all of our clients here in 2024. And it's no question that saving for retirement, it's a lifelong process. So because of that, it can be tricky to predict exactly which retirement accounts will work for your situation at whatever time of life you're in. Well, most of our clients, many of you listening, you are in your pre-retirement phase, maybe 5 to 10 years out, or your post-retirement phase. And in many cases, it can make sense to pivot through your years from one savings plan to another. And this is where a Roth IRA conversion, may work well for many of you. The right Roth conversion strategy. This can help you minimize taxes, not just today, next year, beyond, but throughout your entire retirement career, while still allowing you to build wealth, in many cases, even more wealth for the future. So let me start today with just the basics of Roth IRAs. A Roth IRA is a retirement savings account that's funded. You put money into this thing with after-tax income. And these contributions over the years, they can grow tax-free. Now, many of you have other accounts like traditional IRAs and 401ks, and those dollars were pre-tax when you funded these accounts, meaning that the contributions will be taxed when you pull the money out. But see, with a Roth IRA, you've already paid the taxes on these contributions. So withdrawals can be made penalty-free and tax-free during your retirement years. And I can't tell you how many of our successful clients, many of you right now, you've gone through our planning process, your living plan that we update year over year, and you start realizing, wow, if I would have just known about the Roth, I probably would have gotten that game a little sooner. But at the end of the day, Roth IRAs offer certain advantages as well. Unlike many retirement plans, Roth IRAs, they don't have required minimum distributions. That's a huge part of success in our clients' portfolios because obviously we want to control your tax brackets when you retire, but all the way throughout all your retirement years. And by not having to be forced to pull money out of these accounts, that gives you control. You can also pass Roth IRAs down to your beneficiaries tax-free as well. And that makes Roth IRAs a really good option for estate planning for families that know they're going to leave wealth. So that's, in essence, what a Roth contribution does for you. But what I want to focus on here in the next couple minutes is a Roth IRA conversion. So many of you, over the next month, you're going to receive an email from our team that says, hey, we've identified that you're a candidate for Roth conversion, and we want to run some estimates for you. And this is of no cost for all of our clients. This is just one more way we seek to provide value for you and your family throughout the years and grow your wealth in a tax-free manner so that you can keep the wealth in the bloodline, disinherit Uncle Sam as best as possible. So in certain circumstances, you're going to be able to convert money from traditional IRAs, simple IRAs, SEP IRAs, even your employer-sponsored plans, things like 401ks, 403bs, 457s. All of these type of accounts, in many cases, can be converted into Roth IRAs. So let's talk about why Roth IRAs may be the right option. If you expect to have, let's say, relatively high income during retirement, a conversion today can reduce how much you're going to pay in taxes in the future. Now, like I said earlier, you may also choose to do Roth IRA conversions for estate planning purposes. Now, there's some things to consider. First, the money that you're going to convert into a Roth IRA, it's generally going to be reported as taxable income. So we want to be sure that we take into account your taxable income from all other sources before we do a Roth conversion. Things like your Social Security, you may have pensions, you may have rental income, distributions from your IRAs and 401ks that you may be currently taking, interest from your savings, CDs, money markets account. We may look at other income streams altogether. If you sold a home, that you may have a capital gain there. If you sold some stock, maybe you're forced to exercise some stock upon retirement. All of these things must be considered prior to deciding how much we are going to convert. And that's why we'll run these very in-depth estimates for you, and we'll come back with an idea of the amount you should convert. And we generally will come back with several options, right? Option A, option B, option C. And, the other thing that we want to consider is not only your Social Security taxation, but the Medicare premiums that you're paying. If you're currently on Medicare, a large conversion could disrupt your premiums, meaning you may end up paying more next year for Medicare than you're paying now if you do a large conversion. Now, that's not the case for everybody, and that's a conversation that your advisor is going to have with you, is does it make sense to do a conversion large enough to push you into another bracket? Does it make sense to do a conversion that's going to put you in higher Medicare premiums? And just always keep in mind, if you end up doing a conversion or you have a year that your income's higher than the Medicare income limits, you may have an increase in your premiums for a temporary period of time, but generally after you get through another tax cycle, you'll see that premium come down. If your tax bracket was higher before, that's likely coming down as well. So some strategies then, when it comes to Roth conversion, are what I call bracket bumping. Okay, so in some cases, a Roth IRA, that conversion may provide you with so much reportable income that you're bumped into a higher tax bracket. See, with bracket bumping, this conversion strategy can avoid the scenario by converting only a portion of your funds. That way you're preserving or staying in the current tax bracket. So more simply said, we identify how much you can convert, how much more income can be shown on the bottom line of your 1040 to stay in the same tax bracket. And for many of our clients, that's the maximum amount they will look to convert in a given year. Now, on the other side of the coin, we have clients that are saying, well, Chris, tax rates, you've told us, are at 40-year lows. They're set to go up in 2026. Does it make sense to do a larger conversion now while tax rates are low? There is a good chance that may make sense as well. We don't know what future tax rates will be, but I think most of our clients, you agree with me, chances are that taxes will be higher in the future. I always give the analogy, when interest rates were so cheap a couple years ago, 2021, 2022, when everybody was refinancing their mortgages at 2-3%, you could finance cars at 0-1-2% interest. That was a really good time to be in the market or be refinancing. And now with very high rates, we've seen housing market slows down because, well, there's not as many buyers that can afford. Maybe you've put off a car purchase because you don't want to pay 7-8% interest. I think it's a very good chance that in future years, it could be 5 years, 10, 15 from now, that we look back here on this period here in 2022, 2023, 24 and go, man, these tax rates were so low. Should we have converted more? And that's a consideration we want to think through. Also, a strategy is kind of a market timing Roth conversion strategy. You've heard us for years, our investment approach. We never time financial markets, but in some cases, it may make sense to market time your Roth conversion. What I mean by that is when you see a market downturn, when the accounts go down because of market fluctuations, that can create a good opportunity for a conversion. Though it may seem counterintuitive to convert to a Roth IRA when the value of your retirement funds have decreased, let's talk about why that can make sense. Because you're going to pay taxes on any Roth IRA amount you convert. So if your account is down in value, you may be paying less in taxes. You may be converting the same amount of shares, but converting them at a discount. And when those share values come back, all of that growth and beyond is tax-free. So, like I said earlier, if you have SEP IRAs, if you have traditional IRAs, simple IRAs, all of these type of accounts are the ones that we'll want to consider. Now, how can we reduce taxes on your Roth conversion? Well, you may want to consider charitable giving. You may give directly to a charity of your choice. That can oftentimes reduce your tax bill. When you see how much a contribution to maybe a cause you believe in can reduce your tax bill, you kind of say to yourself, hey, I could give it all to Uncle Sam in tax, or I could help a cause I believe in and reduce my tax bill, and oftentimes that'll help you be charitable. You can also do what's called a donor advised fund, a DAF, donor advised fund. Go to my YouTube channel. I've talked a lot about that over the years, how families set up a charitable account that you can donate to, get a tax deduction in the year you donate to it, but you don't have to relinquish those dollars to the charity in that given year. You can let the money be invested, you can let it grow, and direct those dollars to any charity of your choice over years to come. You may want to look at offsetting your conversion tax by maybe selling some capital losses. If you have some dogs in your stock portfolio, your brokerage portfolio, it could make sense to sell off some of those and take a capital loss. That can help you with your tax bill as well at the end of the year. And then I want to wrap up by getting your wheels turning around how taxes can be paid. When taxes are due on the conversion, there's really 2 to 3 ways you can pay. You can withhold on the conversion. So let's say that you converted $100,000 this year, your tax bill is $25,000. Well, you can withhold that $25,000 for taxes, meaning, so on that $100,000 you may have decided to convert, you can convert $75,000 to the Roth, take the other $25,000 and send that to the IRS as your estimated tax payment. Now, when we process your Roth conversions for you, we'll administer all of this for you start to finish. So if you choose to withhold, don't be alarmed. We'll go ahead and take care of that for you on your behalf. There's another way is that you can pay right out of cash savings or money markets or CDs, even your brokerage accounts. Now, you may be thinking, well, how much is the tax bill going to be? Before you make the decision to convert, we will have had a very thorough conversation with you so that we can make an educated decision on that conversion amount, and that way you know you're walking in with an idea of how much that tax bill will pay. And many of our clients, they just write the check out of checking savings to pay the tax bill. And the reason that that's optimal, just a little side note, is that that means the full amount of the conversion is going into the Roth, forever compounding for you tax-free. So you're able to get as much as possible in the Roth in that given year by paying out of checking savings, bank cash, etc. The third option is kind of a combo of two. Maybe you do a partial withholding, so you withhold on some of the conversion, and the other half you're paying out of pocket, out of checking savings as well. So again, a lot of different ways to consider how to foot the tax bill. And always keep in mind, there's a price of admission to get in the Roth game. But when we show you the long-term value of how much it's going to save you and your heirs over your retirement years, it can oftentimes get easy to write these checks. So again, if you are a candidate to convert to Roth IRA, you'll be hearing from us. You'll be getting an email from us in the coming weeks, and it'll be really up to you to take advantage of that. It'll give you an option. If you want to take advantage, you'll let us know. We'll give you an idea of the documents we need to run these for you, and we'll be happy to do that. Now that wraps up today's segment, but for whatever reason, if you missed it, you can catch my last wealth report. Just click right here on the screen now. Until we see you again, all the best to you and your family.